Hello, my most amazing Prima artists. How are you today? Today we get to do our very first art project, and I'm excited to show it to you because it's going to help us remember warm colors and cool colors. So if you already saw my first video where I taught you about those warm and cool colors, hopefully you'll remember what they are. Let's take a look. Warm colors are the reds, oranges, and yellows. Cool colors are colors like blues and greens and purples. So for our project today, we are going to color in a sunset over the water. And when you think about the sun and the water, hopefully you're thinking that the sun is the warm colors and the water will be the cool colors. So today, I only want to have you use the warm colors. If you have oil pastels, then that's the kind of thing I want you to use on this project. If you don't have oil pastels or oil crayons, then you can use regular crayons like Crayola crayons, or you can use colored pencils if you have those, or you could even use markers. Now the thing with oil crayons is that they blend together, and I'm going to show you a very cool technique to make your picture look extra special if you have the oil crayons. So today you're only going to need 3 colors: red, orange, and yellow. We are only going to do the sun in this video because the students who are at school will only have time to do the sun, and then next week we'll finish it and we'll do the water. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to take your darkest warm color, which is red, and I want you to draw a line right on the bottom of the sun that outlines where the water is. I don't want it to go into the water. So that's the first spot you should color. Now there's one little spot over here that's part of the sun, and I want you to color that red, okay? Then I'm going to outline this part to make sure that wave doesn't get colored red. But I'm not going to go up and color the top red because we're going to use orange and yellow up there. So I'm going to just color in a little bit more on the bottom here until it goes about halfway up the sun. Now you'll see that I kind of press kind of hard so it's filled in. It looks very bright. Now I'm going to switch to orange. And I am going to fill in the orange above the red. And you can color across horizontally, or you can color up and down, or you can kind of color in circles, as long as you fill in the white space and don't leave a bunch of white paper showing through. All right, now I left a little bit up here so that I can put some yellow up there. So the yellow goes at the top, but there's another cool thing I want to show you. Now this will only work if you're using oil crayons. You're going to take your lightest color, which is yellow, and you're going to go up and down through the red and the orange so that they blend together. It's kind of like you're smearing the colors together on purpose to make them look almost like paint. So the yellow will start to kind of disappear and it'll turn a little bit orange. And then you won't have a striped sun anymore. It'll be kind of blended. So you can kind of fill in all the little white spaces. All right, and it's okay if there's little crumbly crumbs around. You can just ignore those for now. Okay, now we're going to color the rays of the sun. And we're gonna do the same pattern. We're gonna start with our dark color, red, and then we'll do orange, and then we'll blend with the yellow. So I'm going to start over here and make sure you don't color in the water, just color the rays of the sun. And we're just going to color a little bit, not all the way out. So I'm going to go around and fill in all of these rays, the bottom part, with red, just a little bit. And you can notice that I'm coloring up and down now. That's kind of a vertical direction. Don't forget this section here by the water. Now I'm going to switch to orange. And I'm going to be careful by this wave so I don't color the wave. I'm going to color around it. And I'm going to go right next to the red. But I'm not going all the way to the edge yet because that is going to be for the yellow. And you don't have to be super careful here because we're still going to be blending with the yellow. Now, if I go too fast, all you need to do is pause the video so you can catch up. All right, now the fun part. I'm going to take the yellow. But before I do, I need to make sure I have a placemat because I'm going to get all the way to the edge of the paper and I bet I'm going to accidentally go off the edge. So I'm going to put a placemat under here. Just a scrap piece of paper that I don't care if it gets dirty. It's already kind of dirty. So I am going to put that under my paper like a placemat. Or like I like to call it a messy mat. Okay, now I'm going to color with yellow on the edge. And it's okay if the yellow is kind of dirty. It's already got the orange and the red on it because I want these colors to blend together. So remember to color in a way that goes in the same direction as the ray of the sun, okay? And go all the way from the red to the orange to the yellow. And it's cool when the yellow mixes in with the orange and the red to make it look like paint. Now, if yours gets too dull and you need to peel off a little bit of the wrapper, you might need to ask an adult for help, or if you have fingernails, maybe you can get it off so that it's easier to color with. You don't want to take the whole wrapper off though, because then sometimes the crayon will break. Hold it right down by the tip of the crayon so it doesn't crack in half. You're just going to go all the way, all the way around so that you get all of the grays colored in. Okay, I'm going to go fast forward, but you can pause it if you need to catch up. Now I want you to double check a couple things. I'm going to tap mine off so I can get all the crumbles off. Rub it off. Now double check a couple things. Number one, do you see any white paper shining through on the sun part? Like I see a couple little white spaces here. If you see any little white spaces, just take your yellow crayon and blend it a little bit better to fill in where those white spaces are. When you get rid of those white spaces, it really looks professional, like a painter, like someone who does painting did it. Now, the next thing I want you to check is the bottom two rays, because sometimes kids forget to color those. They think they're part of the water. Did you color this one on the left? And did you color this one on the right? Don't forget to color those. But make sure you leave the water alone. We are going to do the water next week. All right, now I want you to look at your sun and I want you to think about how warm it looks. It looks so fiery hot. You know, the sun is so far away from us, but it is so hot that it warms up our whole planet. So let's remember what the warm colors are. Rocket red, flame orange, and sunshine yellow. All right, artists, thank you for joining me today. We are not going to turn this in yet because we still need to finish the water. So after next week, when you do the water, then you can take a picture of it and send it to me. For now, just put it in a safe place. Oh, and you might want to flip it over and put your name on the back. So whatever your name is, practice writing your name on the back. And then I also need you to write a class code. So because you're in Prima, you're going to make a letter P. And then whoever your teacher is for your homeroom teacher, If it's Miss Stieber, you put an S after the P, so it would be PS. If it's Miss Herbst, you would put PH. If it's Miss Nelson, you would put PN. If you have Miss Almquist, you would write PA. If you have Miss Igo, it would be PI. If you have Miss Fabian, it would be PF. All right, thank you. I'll see you next week.